In the past, when I've covered stories like France actively reducing the number of hours in the work week, for example, a lot of the reaction from people who here in the US see those stories is, they're lazy, we're not. Why do they want to work less? Tell them to actually get to work, stop being lazy, stop hanging around. Americans are industrious. France is lazy and communist. The US is capitalist and hardworking, blah, 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 blah. When we talk about labor unions, we often get comments like, labor unions are there to make it easier for people to be lazy. We don't need labor unions unless you're planning on slacking off. We're Americans, we're industrious, we work more hours, blah, blah, blah. We now have an interesting speech from Google co-founder Larry Page, who said that working part-time while maintaining the same standard of living should be a reality for everyone. People shouldn't have to work so much, is what Larry Page is saying. And this was during a joint interview that Larry Page and Sergey Brin did with fellow billionaire Vinod Khosla. It was posted to YouTube. It's quite long. You can check it out. And he said, if you really think about the things you need to make yourself happy, housing, security, opportunity for your kids, it's not hard for us to provide those things. The idea that everyone needs to work frantically to meet people's needs is not true. Page says that the world should be living in a time of abundance in which robots and machines could help meet everyone's basic needs and provide much more free time very, very easily. I think this is really, really interesting because we know that when you work more than 35 to 37 hours per week, your productivity per hour drops drastically, so that in the short term, you will still get more total productivity, albeit less per hour. When you really are overworked, you'll actually start making mistakes and errors, which will have net negative effect on your productivity because you'll have to go back and fix stuff that you've messed up. So we actually know that it is very, very difficult to really get that much benefit from working way, way, way more hours. And now I know in the US, and many of my friends here in the Wall Street area in Manhattan work very, very, very long hours, and it would seem that they're getting a lot done. But the statistics and studies show us that actual productivity does not continue increasing. And what does decrease is health, satisfaction with life, etc., etc. So I think that this entire idea, Lewis, that anybody who wants to work less than 40 hours a week or less than 45 or less than 50 is lazy is a really incorrect idea. We could argue about whether wanting to work less is laziness, but the facts bear out that when you have more free time, your productivity per hour when you're working is higher, your health is higher, and if you think about your health is better, and if you think about the costs that are incurred from the negative health effects of overwork, it is actually much cheaper to work fewer hours.
Right. Now, this is not a new idea. This is a very old idea.
Yeah.
And originally, the idea was that those companies and really successful people and companies and scientific breakthroughs and developments can help everybody so that everybody does not need to really grind like they do.
Right.
And of course, there are going to be those people who, enjoy working a lot of hours.
Because the work culture has become a very popular thing in the U.S. where people's identities are increasingly connected to their job. And therefore, it brings people to want to work more because, and I'm not saying they trick themselves into liking it, they really do like it because it's what they primarily identify as them, right? Their work is who they are.
Right. But, it's not necessary. And now, of course, they're talking about machines helping people. Oh, yeah, machines, built and programmed by Google. That's fine. If those machines are free, then I welcome them.
There's some interest there personally, that maybe, but I agree with what he's saying, absolutely. I've been concentrating my work schedule and moving things around in such a way to have longer periods of time off. My productivity has not gone down at all. In fact, it's gone up without working more hours. We're also producing a 5th show every week. And when you really think about this, you can really do quite a bit.